Hi Aries, welcome to your October 2020 reading. Can't believe we're already in October. I feel like I was just recording the September videos, but we're here. Seven of Wands, first card out. Mars retrograde in Aries. Whoa, has it been fun. I feel like it's been, the sunlight shining on the card. It's the Temperance card, though, that came out. There's been a lot of lessons going around in having to walk yourself off that ledge that Mars wants you to, that Mars is making you feel like you're on. You know, in like a Captain Hook, on Captain Hook's ship in a Peter Pan, how they walk off the plank. Like Mars is bringing you to that edge. The sun, after I was just talking about it. Okay. Bottom of the deck, the Tower, too. So, the sun, when the sun moves into Libra, right across from you, on the, let's see, we're about to move into Libra. So, when the sun moves into Libra here in a couple days, the Mars energy that's already been kind of ramping up and building is going to kind of come even more to the forefront, if that makes sense. Five of Wands. Once the sun moves into Libra, the aggression that you feel going on an internal level right now, that is the Seven of Wands, that you've been doing a decent job at tempering, right, depending on where you are. You've been able to temper yourself. But when the sun moves, I feel like the aggression now has more of an opportunity to start bleeding into your external realm with the people that you're working with, people that you are around on a day-to-day basis. The annoying thing with the retrograde too is that maybe people that you like actively try to avoid that you're being surrounded by. So like this like tick almost, you know, is present, and it wants you to kind of pop off, and you're going to want to pop off, right? But popping off means that you leave like this temperance space, you know, and that isn't good because like you give up your state of internal peace, right, for engaging with others, which I mean, if you really want to do that, then like eat your heart out, I guess. But like you could just as easily really like channel these two energies and just stay in your zone and temper yourself and still find a way to let that fire blow off steam, because either way you are going to feel the retrograde really, I mean, until it goes direct in November, right? You're really, but especially when the sun, like I said, moves into Libra and it's highlighting, you know, the house opposite of you. That fire is going to be there either way, already accentuating the natural fire that you already have all the time. And so the Temperance card, although it may seem light and fluffy right now with, you know, oh yay, maintaining your internal peace, it's going to feel more strenuous than that at times this month, if that makes sense. Like, it's going to feel at certain points throughout this month that keeping that internal peace within yourself is taking literally everything that you have in you. You know what I mean? Which you guys already are so good and are kind of known for and have this reputation of not hesitating to put yourself first and to make sure that your internal needs are met, so that way you can be this burning fire in this leadership role in other people's lives. So this is something that you guys are aware of, and with the sun highlighting, right across from you, it's going to call on you now to really actively have to apply that in your life. And it's like right close to the wire, like I was saying earlier, with you like walking that ledge. It is really close to the wire because it's going to start involving the people around you, like the people that you're day to day with, and it's going to kind of test you when you are trying to maintain that peace. Some of these people you may not be able to escape. It may be family members, it may be roommates, it may be like neighbors. If you live in like an apartment, you have like upstairs or neighbors on either side of you. It may be stuff that you can't really control, and like that if you pop off, you are going to be pinned as being explosive and angry, and people aren't going to take your side. You aren't going to be able, it's not going to be easily justified. You may feel justified, and trust me, I believe it. I know that for some of the things that will happen, you will be justified. What I'm saying is the people around you aren't going to see it as justifiable, right? Because this is an energy that everybody is feeling right now. And so they're just going to feel you being extra aggressive on top of the already aggressive energy. Okay. Three of Swords. Yeah, you don't want to slip into this Five of Wands space to where now you're fighting amongst other people. Because when you do, there's going to be a lot that's lost in translation, right? And it's going to cause hurt on the deepest of levels, right? It's going to be you at home thinking about your past week and thinking about how many situations where things could have been smoothed over a little bit, a little easier, or that situations may have been completely unnecessary and they just escalated because in the moment, that aggression, that like rage was palpable, you know what I mean? But it's going to be things, we are in Libra season, right? We're going into Libra season. Justice, bottom of the deck. You're going to be, Libra is air, communication. You are going to be kind of in your head mulling over these things after you already, after the opportunity has already passed you by to remedy it. Now, if you remedy it, it has to be like a reconciliation. You know what I mean? It's not like just avoided. So just really be careful about that. I don't want to sound too preachy, but with the Sun card, channel this innocent energy. When the annoying situations start showing up in your life, in your everyday life, try as hard as you can to keep that aggression that you feel tempered on the inside, right? I'll hold both up. Try to keep that rage balanced in a sense to where you don't need to let it out with other people, but you have outlets, whether it be creative, you find a way to transmute that energy. If you like running, if you like kickboxing, if you like doing anything that helps you, it doesn't have to be physical, but for Aries, like I don't want to be that stereotypical person, right? It could just as well be like a creative outlet or doing just anything that you're Firebirds for that will allow you to blow off that steam, right? Do that, right? And then that way, when you're around other people, you can kind of maintain this very almost in one ear, out the other, just, like water off a duck's back as much as you can, right? Even if on the inside you feel like you're about to explode. If on the outside you can just not engage, right, with other people, but you want it to feel genuine. Like the point isn't for you to be suppressing how you're feeling this month. It's to set yourself up in a way that way when you are in these situations, that trigger isn't being as it isn't being engaged as much. Does that make sense? Okay, let's keep shuffling. Okay, let's see. We got a few cards. Okay. The Devil, Judgment, Ace of Swords. Okay, cool. Let's see. The Hierophant, Six of Swords. Let's see. Queen of Swords, Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Strength. All right, let's break this down. It's a lot. So I wrote down notes of the transits. That way I can try to tie things down better for you. So we do have Pluto going direct in Capricorn on October 3rd. So that's coming up here in a couple of days. So the Devil card partnered with Judgment is really giving me like that vibe to that transit that's about to take place. I feel like with Pluto is kind of like the grandfather to like Mars, right? Pluto is the ruler of your like sister sign Scorpio, but you guys also share Mars as, you know, their ancient ruler. But Pluto going direct in Capricorn is going to, with the Judgment card, it's going to kind of release this karma upon you. So depending on which side of the karmic scale you fall on will kind of dictate the kind of karma that you get back. But from like the vibe of the reading, it seems overall good. It seems like the communication that has kind of been held back is able to be set free for a little bit. You guys are able to communicate clearly what it is that you want before Mercury goes retrograde on, let's see, October 14th. So yeah, you guys will have 12 days, a window of 12 days from the 3rd to the 14th. 11 days, sorry. I can't do math right. You guys will have a window of 11 days to have this clear communicative energy to where you feel like you can communicate what it is that you need to. What is it that you need to communicate? Well, through this Mars retrograde period, you guys have been doing a lot of work on the internal level. We talked about this last month, right? This month, you guys are building a lot of momentum with your growth. And the Ace of Swords is definitely a big culprit of that because of, again, the communication. With the Hierophant here, too, this is also like you're being able to communicate things regarding your leveling up. This is about you mapping out that next like elevation. Does that make sense? The Hierophant is all about like elevating morals, your status, like worldview. It's all expanding, and partnered with the Ace of Swords, this is kind of what's coming to your mind now that you want to communicate. And it may also be to some of these people that are wanting to cause this conflict around you, right? You know, where you're kind of having to bite your tongue at the beginning part of October, you get an opportunity in that 11-day window, you know, as we get closer to Mercury, right before Mercury goes retrograde in Scorpio, where you guys can communicate your boundaries and be able to assert yourself while maintaining that dominance, right? Whereas in the beginning of the month, you kind of would have been taken as aggressive. You're able to kind of get your point across now with no issues. Six of Swords. With Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio, and it will kind of backtrack into Libra towards the end of the month as well. This is going to kind of press pause on the communication, right? After you kind of get this taste of forward movement, right? It's going to pull you back a little bit further and really give you an opportunity to sort through what habits, when it comes to communicating, are serving you and what isn't. I think that's Aries and communication, I think, is a really big lesson moving forward, because it has to deal with how you guys interact with the outside world. You know what I mean? I think you guys are gaining more, you guys are growing so much on an emotional level that now how you interact with the external world is getting a bit of a facelift, if that makes sense. And so the opportunity that you have this month between the having to hold back and then kind of being shot forward to then kind of being restricted again, is this time it allows you to kind of sort out what is valuable to you moving forward, right? And by the time Mercury goes direct into November, you're left in this space of not being any less powerful, dominant, or like carrying that alpha type energy, right? But you're just able to get your point across, your word across, and it holds a lot more weight to people. They see somebody who is a little bit more balanced on an internal level, on an emotional level, and therefore can compose themselves very efficiently and get the point across, right? Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. So we enter the Queen of Swords space from a Page of Cups space, which is really good, because the Page of Cups, while he may be of pure intent, it's not so much about the intention that he holds as more so the way that he rolls up and presents the information, right? It's the appearance, it's the energy, it's the what's being offered on top of all of that that kind of makes somebody look at the Page of Cups and not hold as much weight to it, right? Which you guys don't come across this way often. But referencing back to kind of our discussion at the beginning of the reading, if you kind of pop off in situations when it's not the right time, then you can appear kind of immature and explosive and somebody who isn't in control of their emotional state. I mean, come on, a page isn't a king, right? So take that how you will. It's not meant to be derogatory. It's just a like a testament with the Queen of Swords, because this is the space that you kind of arrive at the end of this push and pull energy that, you know, the Mercury going in retrograde is going to kind of have, and also this Mars retrograde, what it's been having on you this the month of September. The bottom of the deck being the Strength card. Again, like I was saying, this is about you being able to temper and control within yourself that side that wants to be very fiery and just kind of go. You know what I mean? That's a very admirable quality and comes in handy at times, right? But this month, when everybody is triggered and when there is so much on the table, especially when it has to deal with you being able to express outwardly all the growth and the evolution that you've experienced on an internal level. It just requires a little bit more of a relationship with yourself. It takes kind of interacting with yourself on a very you need to separate your ego from your true self. You need to be able to interact with that part of yourself that wants to kind of go the extra mile and know when to tame it. That is the lesson in October. All right? I love you so much, Aries. October is going to be a really great month. Enjoy this this energy that is dancing across from you, because it allows you to learn things about yourself that are only possible this time of year, when the sun is kind of shining a light on a different angle. All right? See you next month.